Of course, the main reason why everyone is talking about Nvidia stock right now is because the company recently announced quarterly financial results, and the stock market was widely and broadly anticipating those results. Nvidia's figures have grand implications for companies not just in the AI industry, but more broadly worldwide. So in this video, I'll evaluate some of the latest developments with Nvidia and also share with you my updated intrinsic value per share calculation for Nvidia stock. Following the earnings results, I incorporated the latest figures into my new free cash flow estimates and came up with a new intrinsic value per share for Nvidia stock, which I will share with you in this video. So Nvidia said that long thinking reasoning AI can require 100x more compute per task compared to one-shot inferences. And its latest Blackwell technology was architected for reasoning AI inference. Blackwell supercharges reasoning AI models with up to 25x higher token throughput and 20x lower cost versus Hopper 100. So these are huge improvements in performance, either in the upside performance where you can get the latest and greatest technology, or in saving cost and getting the existing technology at a lower total cost of ownership. Either way, the upgrade reasons are phenomenal for companies that are buying NVIDIA's technology. They're saving tremendous sums of money and improving what they can offer their customers. NVIDIA said that they're driven to a 200x reduction in inference cost in the last 2 years. They delivered the lowest total cost of ownership and the highest ROI, and the full stack optimizations for NVIDIA and their large ecosystem, including 5.9 million developers. So these are all the reasons why NVIDIA is winning so fantastically in the AI industry. The company's driving so much performance improvement versus previous generation technology that was based on CPUs. And now this next generation data center optimized for AI based on GPUs produced by NVIDIA is driving such an improvement from that previous generation. It's a no-brainer for these companies to invest in upgrades. So in the fourth quarter, the large CSPs or cloud service providers represented about half of their data center revenue, and these sales increased by nearly 2x year over year. Nearly 2x increase. And the large CSPs are companies like Amazon, Alphabet, and Microsoft, which I covered significantly over these last few weeks. And I talked about how they all said they're going to increase their spending in this category. And we're seeing that result in higher revenues for NVIDIA. The good news is that all three of those big companies I mentioned all have announced big increases in capital expenditures for 2025. So NVIDIA's prospects for 2025 look even stronger than they did in 2024, which was a remarkable year. So that's great news for NVIDIA and NVIDIA stock investors. The continued AI factory buildouts globally and rapidly are rising demand for AI reasoning models and agents. So NVIDIA talked about how the first taste of AI we got was from ChatGPT and the large language model. That really was the first phase that created enthusiasm for AI and created demand for these data centers optimized for AI. The next level is going to be agentic AI, where companies are going to use artificial intelligence to create agents that help employees become more productive, that help customers with customer service, that help in a variety of ways. That's where NVIDIA sees this next wave of demand for AI. That's where it sees it rising from. So I highlighted earlier in the video that I updated my intrinsic value cash flow valuation for NVIDIA stock following these earnings results. The primary area for upgrades was in the free cash flow expectations over these next few years increased as a result of the latest developments with Nvidia. So my previous intrinsic value per share for Nvidia stock, the intrinsic value, I had it around $120 per share. And this was as of early February. I did that latest update around February 4th. By the way, if you want access to these spreadsheets where I have all of my discounted cash flow valuations, and I also have my recommendations where I give a rating buy, hold, or sell on over 175 stocks, which Nvidia being one of them. I have Nvidia rated as a top 9 stock, and I last updated that recommendation this morning. I make multiple updates to these spreadsheets Monday through Friday, multiple updates, and then sometimes I also update them over the weekend. If you want access to both of these spreadsheets, you can get that through a channel membership at the investor tier. So back to the intrinsic value, I upgraded it to $136.29 per share. That's up from my previous intrinsic value per share of $120 per share. So a more than 10% increase, an increase of about $16 per share as a result of the latest developments with Nvidia, as a result of what I thought was a fantastic quarter out of Nvidia. As I just shared with you some of the developments, I went through the entire earnings call transcript, which I'll have several videos coming out over the next few days. I evaluated the whole earnings call, and it was a great earnings call. I heard exactly what I wanted to hear from Nvidia's management team. They answered the questions I wanted them to answer and discuss and elaborate on, including the developments with DeepSeek, including the risk of those large cloud service providers like Amazon, Microsoft, and I'm forgetting one, and what they could do with their spending over these next few years. And it all looked really strong to me. So I was alleviated. Of course, risk still remains with Nvidia stock given the tremendous rise in its sales and profits, but those risks were a little bit decreased following these earnings calls and the developments from Nvidia. So I still have Nvidia rated as a top 9 stock, and I increased my intrinsic value per share calculation for Nvidia stock. If you liked the video you just saw and you want to see more just like it, please subscribe to the channel. I can't keep this channel free without the support of viewers like you. And if you're already subscribed, thank you, and I appreciate your support.